Good question. Everybody has a myriad of desires. There's not a prominent one, and very perceptive, I might add. You're obviously thinking hard about this. Proverbs says the Lord, I don't want that up there. Proverbs says the Lord weighs the heart. See one of these? Old scales, forget what they're called. Oh, they have a cool name for them. This thing, right? Okay. And then it's got a little pointer up on top, right? And we could say Jesus is over here and me over here. And I have not a weight in the scale. I've got several, right? I've got people's opinions. I've got money, right? And then all of a sudden, the dentist comes along and says, all your teeth are, just hypothetical, all your teeth are cracked and it's going to be 40 grand for implants. Wham! Right? This is suffering one. We just weighted the scale, right? Whatever we get bad news or suffering or whatever it is, or, your kid is addicted to a substance, right? And boom, this huge boulder gets put in the scale, right? And it tips the scale. Actually, I want this like this. Okay? There we go, that's better. Yeah, no, that wouldn't, would it? Over here, I've got my knowledge of God's person. Okay? I've got, he's sovereign. He's loving. He's merciful. He's forgiving. Okay? And so what happens, the Lord weighs the heart. Okay? What happens is, I've got several of these, okay? And to chip the scale, it's not taking these out so much, it's just putting more weight over here. Right? When the dentist, bam, right, thing comes, well, I need this mercy and sovereign and loving, like understanding weights of the Lord to grow. So this scale tips more towards Jesus coming out of my life and not Isaac coming out of my life. Desire. I've got to see the Lord's praise and worship has got to be in my heart heavier on this side than on this side. Praising him in the bad? Yes. And if I see his work, okay? If I see myself as I am, totally depraved, okay? And he comes along and chops my military career at 11 years and it's gone. And then the marriage I had and all of it. And I'm sitting all by myself in the woods like the dude on Shooter, the movie, right? Like that veteran. Has God been mean to me? No. He just went like this. There. It was the loving thing for him to do. But if I don't understand that I'm a desiring being and that I'm going to go down that desired track and you can't stop me because the heart is Pac-Man, right? If I don't know that about people, I don't understand the goodness of God. Now, there's got to be a note here on Job. I thought I put it in here. Remember Job. Job, the counsel his friends give him constantly is, this is the goodness of God. He's afflicting your life, right? And what needs to happen is your desires need to change for the Lord. Throw the gold in the dust and make the Lord your treasure, one of them says. And God is angry with Eliphaz at the end, all of them, but specifically Eliphaz at the end of Job, right? So there's a danger here. While I want to understand this for myself and that God works in this way in my life, and what he's always doing is he's always targeting the desires, not the actions. It doesn't even make sense for God to target the actions. Because if everything action and word-wise flows out of the heart, and God addresses the action, Well, that didn't do a whole lot. But if he addresses that, he gets all of it. So when we think that logically, we go, well, of course, God's going to go after the heart desires. So God is training, you don't get to love X. And sometimes those are good things. Nope, you love being married, and that's fine, but no more. And I want you to have a relationship with me. And he's not mean. He's taking away something that our heart is going to love and going to chase, even if it's a good thing, because in Job's case, Job says at the end, right? Job says, I heard with the ear, but now I see with the eye. Why? Because the desires have changed. Because that's what God does with growth. He changes desires. So with Job's case, it's a growth thing. It's not a punishment, and it's not a salvation thing, but it's definitely he grows to see the Lord more brilliantly. So there are many, but don't try to track a bunch of them. Try to work on one or two right now, and then when you get the hang of it, you can go, okay, yeah. There's the desire tree has all kinds of vines growing around it of other things.